Okay. Thought it was a good team win tonight. It's in a much better spot than we were last year, I guess. We'll start there. But I was pleased with the way the guys played for 4 quarters. There was obviously a lot of things that happened that we'll be able to clean up. Got to give Kansas some credit, especially defensively. They're frustrating. They play hard on all 3 sides of the ball. Just make it challenging to be able to run them out of the stadium, so to speak. The way we started, we moved the ball well. Just had a hard time finishing drives. And then coming out after halftime, the whole theme for the whole week was to come out after halftime and play a better second half than you did first half, and I do not think that happened on offense. Thought it did happen on defense, and then it did not happen on special teams as well. So, I thought Josh Lambert was great. I thought Mario was the fastest player on the planet today. Our defense can't say enough about the performance that they put out there. Forcing them to punt 14 times is amazing. That number would probably go down a little bit if we were able to get a turnover every now and then, which is mind-boggling that we're not able to get. So we will continue to address that. Offensively, we will continue to address finishing drives. Special teams, we will continue to address the big play, the glaring mistakes that you guys saw in addition to that. If it wasn't for that, I thought special teams played well. Offense moved the ball, just didn't finish. And then defense obviously was the story of the night. So with that, we'll take some questions.
Coach, you mentioned a couple years ago when you guys played Bowling Green that you were kind of disappointed with the attendance that day. With this being homecoming and the stadium not being so full, were you kind of disappointed in what you saw in the crowd today?
Well, yeah, we want sellouts every game. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me that we wouldn't have a sellout, but why it wasn't, I don't know. It was last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't know. I mean, I got my own worries. That's not something that I really worry about.
Talk a little bit more about what you guys did do defensively. Obviously, the number of punts. I think passing-wise, too, you really held them down.
Yeah, we stopped them. So I thought our rush defense was great. Getting them to punt 14 times is obviously pretty good. So didn't give up a big play, which was awesome. Played well. He's played well. I thought these guys flew around, tackled well, played with high effort and high energy, and was pleased with the way 3 of 17 on third downs. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good defensive football. So I was happy with where they're at.
Quarterback work off at the end, and William Crest was not dressed today. Can you explain what happened?
Yeah, Williams, his shoulder's all jacked up right now. So we decided not. Well, that's right. That's for the doctors and all that stuff. But right, he wasn't getting this any good if he couldn't throw. So he didn't practice all week. I'm not going to address a guy that doesn't practice all week. He was in the training room the majority of the week. So Clint's fine. I mean, he's had a sore ankle for a couple of weeks. But there's some other issues I got with Clint right now. Not his health. His health is good. Didn't have his best game. And again, they're frustrating. It's hard for us to call plays when they change their defense a lot. They're good against the run. They mix things up. We leaned on Clint a bunch to be a little bit more of a play caller out there, and he's still learning that aspect of playing quarterback for us in our system. So he's going to come back and he's going to learn a ton from this tape right here, and I would expect him to be able to be much better next week because of it.
One of those the 4th and 1.
What's that?
Was one of those the 4th and 1? They got thrown deep to Kevin.
Well, no, that was miscommunication between him and Mario. We called a zone play, and it was a run pass option. He flashed the signal, and Mario didn't get. We've had that happen very, very, very little with Clint this year. That was one. That's why I was not happy on the sidelines, and I put that on Mario. He's got to keep his eyes on Clint.
Did Kansas do things differently than what you expected, what you'd seen before? Is it more?
No, I've been talking about it all week. These guys are good on defense. They're I thought they were good last year. If you look at all their tapes, they get big played every now and then. You know, they get put in bad situations, you know, because of some other reasons. But defensively, they've held their own a lot, and they've been put in a lot of bad situations from their offense. You know, I was excited about how we were moving the ball. We just didn't finish drives very good, and then it got frustrating in the second half. And you know, it probably has a little bit to do with them being pretty good dang defense. But schematically, we knew what they were going to do. It's a matter of just kind of seeing it and being able to execute against it.
Kevin had 3 catches for about 125 yards right away. It seemed like you guys felt pretty comfortable, or that there was something there you could take those shots down the field. Did that change later in the game, or did you go away from it because you had that lead?
No, it wasn't anything like that. It's we call plays, and the quarterback needs to do a good job of figuring out where to put the ball and do so. Tried to get it to them a couple other times, and we weren't successful. It has something to do with you know, what they were doing defensively. They're pretty good. They got good corners.
You were happy with your defense pretty dangerously thin up front. It looks like Bolton put some D in for you, having to sort of mix and match.
Yeah, I've moved him there to try to get him in a better position to be able to rush the passer. He's one of our better pass rushers. He affected. I don't think he got any sacks, but he affected the play a couple of times. You know, so I was pleased with the way we played up front. You know, we got to continue to get better at it and continue to get pressure on the quarterback. Next week's going to be a whole different deal. You know, they're going to throw the ball all over the place, and we're going to have to get guys in position that are able to get to the quarterback. So that was a step in the right direction. Oklahoma, Alabama, those guys are more power football teams where you need bigger bodies up front. When you play more spread teams that we're going to face here over the course of the next 7 weeks, you better get guys in position to be able to rush.
You didn't play Hyman, I don't believe.
He did not dress. His knee's still jacked up. So long term, I don't know. We're still evaluating that. But he hadn't practiced in a week and a half, so he's at this point in time he's out.
I assume that was part of it, but you had 2 new starters, he and the linebacker,
Muldrow. That was because we put Brandon Golson in, partially because we have Muldrow that's been playing much better. Shaq Petaway's been playing great, so it allowed us to be able to move Brandon, who we view as one of our best pass rushers, in a situation to be able to do that.
That sounds like something that you could do more often moving forward. Is that just a good look at it tonight?
Yes, absolutely. That's why, you know, we had time to, part of the off week, and I didn't alert you for obvious reasons because we're preparing to, you know, for an opponent that we didn't want to tip off. But that, yes, moving forward, that's something that we're interested in doing and getting those guys on there. And we're able to move Brandon because of how Edwards playing, and he's getting better and better, and because of Shaq Petaway's healthy, and he looks great as well.
There's not much meat on the bones.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you get Noble's playing well. You know, Shaq Riddick got a bunch of snaps, which is going to get him better and better. Christian Brown, Kyle Rose, Kinsey started playing a little bit more. You play those guys got a little bit more mass to them.
I know you like Jordan because he can catch it on punts, but have one today, and there's not a lot of plays to return, a lot of opportunities. Is he definitely the guy there, or is that something you'll revisit if somebody wants to do it?
If we had more people that we liked, we'd probably put him in there. You know, catching punts is not the easiest thing that you do in football. It's probably the hardest thing that has to happen. You know, we're recruiting guys, we're working guys. At this point in time, you know, they pay us to make decisions, and we feel like Jordan gives us the best option. Extremely disappointed in what we saw tonight.
Do you guys want to do that? Because it is hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
No return.
It's not the easiest thing to do. And their punter was sporadic too, man. I mean, it shanking them out of bounds and then knocking them 60 yards and then, you know, throwing them into the end zone and then hitting them 70 yards. I mean, the dude was all over the place. That makes it even more challenging.
That one return you gave up on special teams, I know you haven't had a chance to look at it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't know what happened. You know, it's you know, I thought we played really good on special teams. You got a kicker who made 4 field goals. You know, the block was on him. He hit it low, but 4 field goals in 1/2 is outstanding. Josh is playing good. Nick averaged 45 yards a punt. Our kickoff cover team was excellent. You know, the two mistakes. It's the same issues that we've had all year. We've played good on special teams, for the exception of a very glaring mistake. So we will continue to coach it and address it. I can assure you, we're much better than than we could be with a lot of just bad special teams play. You know, so we're not having bad special teams plays. We had a fumbled punt and we gave up a kick. Yes, it's aggravating. I understand that. But it's not like we have to make a whole bunch of changes to fix it.
Dana, you're able to get some other wide receivers in the game. Do you feel like Quint was able to build some continuity with those guys?
Yeah, I think so. We focused on that over the last couple of weeks. We can't rely on just Mario and Kevin to be our only receivers. You know, so KJ Myers has been getting a little bit better. He got more snaps. Vernon Davis made a play at the end that was exciting. Tried to target Shelton a couple of times, didn't work out. Those guys need to keep playing and keep improving because we're going to need them down the road.
Quint doesn't take that hit on the knee. Would you prepare to sort of ride it out with him and let him hand off?
No, I was putting Skylar in. I told him to go warm up, and I was, planning on putting him in. Probably a play or two after that anyway. So when I saw him take that shot, I had said, yeah, it's time to pull the plug. But I'd planned on putting Skylar in from the last couple of weeks.
Brett's injury, is that something that happened during the bye week?
Yeah, he threw a good bit that Tuesday and Wednesday of the bye week. And I don't know if it was wear and tear from that or what. He's had some shoulder stuff that stems back from August. We had to sit him a couple of times in August too. So I think we repped him a whole bunch, and I don't know. They're still looking at him. I don't know if it tweaked it or what. We should know in a week.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right, appreciate it, guys.